Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into getting started with Python, Lesson 1. Your first steps into the world of coding. So, what language are we going to use? I'm going to be teaching you Python. There's many reasons. It helps you learn to code, automate tasks, analyze data, and build websites and applications, which makes it very versatile. Let's look into this a little bit more deeply to see why learning Python is useful. So what makes Python so awesome? Well, it's beginner friendly. The syntax or the language it's written in is very similar to English, which makes it very easy to understand compared to other languages. It's got a huge community behind it, which means there's lots of programmers out there using Python, creating libraries or little bits of code that does common tasks, and they create tutorials, and there's a large amount of those out in the world. The next one is versatility. Python is very versatile because it is a general purpose language, meaning that you can use it for an incredibly wide range of tasks. Building websites, creating games, data analytics, machine learning, and so much more. So, let's look at your first program, Hello World, which is a standard for all programming languages. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to create the file. We're going to call this file hello.py. The py extension tells the computer it's a Python file. The next step is to write the code. The code that we're going to put inside of this file is print, bracket, quote, hello world, quote, bracket. And let's look at what is happening here. The print function displays text onto your screen. And then the hello world in quotes is the text we want to display. The quotation marks tells Python that this is a string of characters and not code to be executed. And then we just run the code, clicking the run button in the top right, and you will see hello world printed in the terminal. So let's go set up our interface and our programming environment. I'm going to be using idx.google.com. I love this idea of having a integrated development environment that can allow you to create all kinds of programs in different languages. It's got a few others like Go, Node Express, Flutter, Angular, all kinds of other things. But first I want you to click on See All Templates. We do not want to create the Python Flask option. That's a bit too complex, so click on that one. And then we're going to click on Miscellaneous here at the bottom, and click blank workspace. Now, a blank workspace is a little bit of a problem, but we'll look into that now. I'm first going to name my workspace to be lesson 1 for now. Later I'll use a different name. While that's setting up, a blank workspace is a bit of a problem because we still need to set up Python. We need to set up all of our extensions for our VS Code that we're going to be using inside of IDX. And so it is very important to understand that this is only something you have to do once. Once it's set up and you're logged in and everything's working, you won't have to do this again. So, waiting for this to finish setting up and loading, we typically wait for the README file to load. There we go. Now, it says get started by customizing your environment defined in this file for the tools. So we're going to click on that little folder over there, and the dev.nix file, we're going to open that up, and we're going to uncomment the two packages Python 311 and Python 311 packages. And that's it. Now we're just going to click on build environment. The rest of these you can leave as is for now. Later you might want to change some of these options. But for now, we're just going to click rebuild. The rebuild is typically much quicker. You can close this file now, and it's going to reload the README file, and we're going to close that too. Our next step is to create our file. So I'm just going to minimize this. You can either right-click in this area over here to create a new file, or you can click up here for the create new file. So let's create our file, hello.py. So I type in hello.py, and you'll see that it changes the image for the file to a Python logo. Now you press enter. It's going to take a moment to load the file that we just created. It's the first time, and we're just going to have to wait here for a moment. You can use Gemini inside of this, which is wonderful in the future, but for now, please don't. The most important thing is to install this extension down here, the Python extension. This will allow us to run our code directly from here instead of having to type in commands, making the whole development process so much easier. We can dismiss this image as well. And while we wait for the Python extension to install, we can just sit back and relax. This will only take a short moment, thank goodness. Once you see the disable or uninstall buttons, you can close the extension window. And we can now click here at the bottom to see that the Python is the programming language, and we have an interpreter here. We only have one, so that's all in one we need. You can press escape to hide that image again. Okay, now we can write our code. So I'm going to type print, and you'll see the pop-up window there. And these are part of that extension. So I'm going to type hello world. And in the top right corner, click on the run button. The terminal window will open and print hello world. And that's it. As simple as that. You have now created your very first Python program. You can close this window, and next time we will continue with lesson 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.